Srimad Bhagavatam class from our Deena Bandhu Prabhu. Deena Bandhu Prabhu ke Hari Om Tat Sat. Dhanyavad.
Hare Krishna. So today is the auspicious appearance day of Lochan Das Thakur. So we'll have Bhagavatam class and then we'll talk something about the glories of Lochan Das Thakur. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Sri Sri Radha Madhava Ki Jai Nitya Lila Vishnu Musapada Divine Grace Sila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Samstapakacharyas Divine Grace Sila Prabhupada Ki Ananda Guri Vaishnavindi Ki Jai Sri Rup Sanatana Bhattacharya Sri Jeev Gopala Das Raghunath Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir Ki Sri Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Sri Sri Dauji Maharaj Ki Krishna Baldav Ki Thy Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the Assembled Devotees. All glories to the Assembled Devotees. All glories to the Assembled Devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 87, my goodness, text number 26. The prayers of the personified Vedas. Now we're getting it. We've been enjoying some ecstatic nectar, now we're getting the philosophical nectar. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is a big, long, complicated verse, huh? Mitya, excuse me, I'm the wrong one. That's yesterday's. Sad, Iva, Manas, Trivrit, Tvai, Sabhyatya, Asad, Amanjujat, Jat, Sad, Abhim, Mrisyantya, Shashesham, Idam, Atma, Tayatma, Vidaha, Nahi, Vikritim, Tyajayanti, Kanakasya, Tad, Atmaya. Atmataya Swa Kritim Anapravishtam Idam Atmatyatma. Let's see. Yes, that one. I'm not sure what the meter for this is. We'll try something. Sadiva manastri vrit tvai vibhutya sad amanjujat. Sadabhim ristam atyantya shesham idam atmatayatma vidaha. Naha vikritim chajanti kanakasya tad atmataya. Swakritim anapravishtam idam atmatayatma twastam. Sadiva manasya trivit tvai vibhat yasad atmanujat. Sadabhim ristam atyantya shesham idam atmatayatman vidaha. Nahi vikritim chadiyanti kanakasya sad atmataya. What is it? Swakritim anupravishtam idam atmatayatma sitam. Anyone else want to try? Any of the ladies want to try? Sat, real. Eva, as if. Manaha, the mind, and its manifestations. Trivrit, threefold, by the modes of material nature. Tvai, in you. Vibhati, appears. Asat, unreal. Amanjujat, extension to the human beings. Sat, as real. Abhimrisyanti, they consider. Ashesham, entire. Idam, this world. Atmataya, as non-different from the self. Atmavidaha, the knowers of the self. No, not. He, indeed. Vikritim, the transformations. Tyajanti, reject. Kanakasya, of gold. Tad atmataya, inasmuch as they are non-different from it, yeah. Eva, by himself. Kritam, created. Anupravistam, and entered. Idam, this. Atmataya, as non-different from himself. Avastitam, ascertained. The three modes of material nature comprise everything in this world, from the simplest phenomena to the complex human body. Although these phenomena appear real, they're only a false reflection of the spiritual reality, being a superimposition of the mind upon you. Still, those who know the Supreme Self consider the entire material creation to be real inasmuch as it is non-different from the self. Just as things made of gold are indeed not to be rejected, since their substance is actually gold. So this world is undoubtedly non-different from the Lord who created it and then entered within it. Please repeat. The three modes of material nature comprise everything in this world, from the simplest phenomena to the complex human body. Although these phenomena appear real, they are only a false reflection of the spiritual reality, being a superimposition of the mind upon you. Still, those who know the Supreme Self consider the entire material creation to be real inasmuch as it is non-different from the self. Just as things made of gold are indeed not to be rejected, since their substance is actually gold. So this world is undoubtedly non-different from the Lord who created it and then entered within it. So purport by the followers of Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So it's a big long purport, so we'll do the Mangalacharan here because we'll make comments so long as so long we'll forget what we were hearing about. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Dena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanmanubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhuvaivacha patitanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. In one sense, the visible world is real, sat, while in another sense, it is not, asat. The substance of this universe is solid fact, being the Lord's external energy. But the form that Maya imposes on this substance are only temporary. And because material forms are temporary manifestations, those who consider them permanent are in illusion. Impersonalistic scholars, however, misinterpret this division of Sat and Asat, denying the common sense reality. They declare that not only material form, but also material substance is unreal, and they confuse their own spiritual essence with that of the absolute whole. A Mayavadi philosopher would take the words spoken by the personified Vedas in the preceding prayer, Tri Guna Maya Puman Iti Bida, as negating any distinction between the Paramatma and the Jiva soul. He would claim that since the Jiva's material embodiment is an ephemeral display of the three modes of material nature, when the Jiva's ignorance is destroyed by knowledge, he becomes the Paramatma, the Supreme Soul. Bondage, liberation, and the manifest world are all unreal creations of ignorance. In response to such ideas, the Vedas have clarified the factual relationship between Sat and Asat. So, here's describing that this material world, in one sense, it is Asat. Just like Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, of that which exists, there's no cessation, and that which what is that verse? I can't remember. Just anyway, it does not remain. Anyway, we see nothing in this world remains. It's always changing at every moment, but the absolute truth is unchanging. But still, we cannot say that it is unreal. Just like the Mayavadis, they're very fond the aphorism, Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satya. That this material world is mithya, just like we have in English the word myth, that is not real. Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satya. But actually, here, this verse is giving a very interesting example, that we cannot say that it is false because it is one of the energies of the Lord. Just like we cannot say that a gold ring is a gold mine. In the gold mine there's a huge quantity of gold, and the gold little ring is just a tiny bit. But here the verse says we can't reject it because it's made from the gold. It's gold. Its essence is gold. So this material world is one of the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's real, but its manifestation is temporary. Just like in Guru Puja every day, we see all the devotees jumping up and down. Well, those days are gone for us. Somehow this body has changed. I still feel I'm the same person, but the body's changing. Every moment it's changing. So here the verse says that it's like a reflection. So reflection means that there's some reality. If we see reflection, we know that it's the somewheres. Just like we see, Prabhupada gives the example of an upside down tree. We go to the reservoir of water, we see upside down trees in the water. But if you try to pick the fruit on that tree, you just get wet. So then the Mayavadis decide it's unreal. But there's another reality. On the shore of the Sarovar, of the reservoir of water, there's trees standing, straight up. So it's not that the tree in the water is real in one sense because it's a reflection, but it's not the real substance that we want. So the Mayavadis tried to say this world is unreal, and then when we become liberated, then we'll merge with the Supreme Lord and become God. But there's no question of becoming God. God means that He's always God at all times. It's not that We go to some school and learn how to become God. Just like we learn to go to school to learn how to be engineers. Not that we go to school and we learn how to become God. No. God always exists. And the first thing, even in, I grew up as a Catholic, so in the catechism class for the children during church time, so we wouldn't disturb, they had some we call catechism class, you know. So the first thing we learned, God knows everything. So even the little kid in the catechism, Catholic catechism class, he's more learned than the Mayavadi philosopher. Mayavadi philosopher said that we have forgotten ourselves, and when we become realized, then we'll again become God. But even the little kid knows, God knows everything. How he forgot himself? How he forgot himself? And then they say, oh, this is all Leela. This is Leela? That we're living in some place like Syria where the bombs are dropping all the time and people are getting shot, and you know, our house, we watch our house be blown to smithereens. What type of Leela is that? So it's not that this world is false, it is temporary. But it is the energy of the Lord, therefore it is real. Just like the painter, he's different from his painting. If we come and say, oh, this painting is bogus, then the painter, he'll be insulted. So the Mayavadis, they're saying God has no form, he has no eyes, he has no hands, he has no head, he has no legs, he has nothing. So there's a big insult. Somebody comes up to you and says, you're useless, you have no hands, no legs, you'll be insulted. Therefore the Mayavadis, they get the same liberation as the demons. Over and over Bhagavatam is telling us that, you know, demons also merge into the existence of the Lord. So they get, as they're offending the Lord, they get the same. So it's not that it's not that it's real, but like Krishna says, it doesn't remain. That which exists actually remains. Where this material world, it doesn't remain. It's always changing. In the Shruti literature, let's put our glasses back here. I don't know if the letters are getting smaller or my eyes are getting worse. In the Shruti literature, we find this statement: Asato dimaso srijatya mana prajapatim asrijat prajapati praja asrijat tadva idam manasya eva puramam pratistitam yad idam kimcha. The Supreme Mind was originally created from Asat. This mind created Prajapati, and Prajapati created all living beings. Thus, mind alone is the ultimate foundation of everything that exists in this world. Although impersonalists might misread this to mean that all the manifested existence is based on unreality of illusion, Asat, the apparently contrary use of the word Asat in this passage actually refers to the original cause, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he is transcendental to material existence, Sat. The logic of the Vedanta Sutra corroborate this interpretation while denying the wrong interpretation of the impersonalists. Asad yapadesham neti chinna dharmanantarena bhakyad seshat. If one objects that the material world and its source cannot be of one substance because the world has been called unreal, we reply, no, because the statement that the Brahman is a Sat makes sense in terms of his having qualities distinct from the creation. Thus, the Taittiriya Upanishad declares, Asad va idam agra asit. In the beginning of this creation, only Asat was present. So this is an interesting argument that that the Lord is also Asat, meaning that he's not part of this material world. He's transcendental to this material world. So it's not that he has no qualities, but his qualities are transcendental. Like Lord Brahma prays in his Brahma Samhita that the Lord has achintya guna swarupam govindamadi purusham tam. He has inconceivable. The other day, I forget who it was, Prabhuji was saying that if we could conceive of God, then we would be God. We'd be greater than God. So God has to be beyond our conception. He's achintya. It's beyond our conception. It's like we quoted the verse that I know everything, but me no one knows. So we're just wasting our time. We cannot understand Krishna. He said even the demigods and great sages, they have difficulty. So we're just wasting our time here. We cannot understand God. But Krishna has a very nice verse in Bhagavad Gita, 10:10. Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogantam. That tesam satata yuktanam. Means linked. Those who are linked, those who are engaged, tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Worship me with love, with affection. Dadami, this is first case in Sanskrit, is I give. I give the understanding whereby they can come to me. Krishna gives. For us, the limited time, we can't understand God, but if God wants to reveal himself to the limited living entity, then who can put a limit? He's unlimited, so you can't put a limit that he can't do that. Yes, he can do that. But where does he do it? It says, bhajatam priti purvakam. So those who are worshiping me with love, then I reveal myself to them. It's impossible for the living entity to understand God. But since for God everything is possible, he can reveal himself to the living entity. So in one sense it's saying that this that everything came from asat means it has different qualities, transcendental qualities, inconceivable qualities. In the opinion of Srila Jiva Goswami, the word adimanaha in the passage quoted above refers to the ruler of the aggregate mind of the universe, Lord Anirudh, who appears as a plenary expansion of Sri Narayan when the latter desires to create. Prajapati is Brahma, the father of all created beings. This is described in the Mahanarayana Upanishad. Atapunar eva Narayanaha sonyam kaman manasa dayet tasya dhyadantaha tasya balanat swedo patata ima pratapa sasu tejo hiranmayam andam tatra brahma chaturmukhe jayata. Then Lord Narayan meditated upon another desire of his, and as he pondered, a drop of perspiration fell from his forehead. All the material creations evolved from the fermentation of this drop. Therein, the fiery golden egg of the universe appeared, and within that globe, four-headed Brahma took his birth. So this is very interesting. We've not read this before, That Lord Narayan was pondering about creation, and a drop of perspiration came. So this material world, to us it appears totally unlimited, is unlimited. But somehow or other, Brahma Samhita describes there's the 3/4 spiritual world and 1/4. So how do you get 1/4 of infinity? That's inconceivable. But anyway, it's inconceivable. There's 3/4 infinity, and this is material world is 1/4. Just Krishna had a little drop of perspiration, and they're going out with their tiny little spacecraft and going, with their telescopes, launching telescopes in outer space and looking and saying that 5 billion, 13 billion years ago this light was, started, and who knows what they're seeing. Krishna's, in Bhagavad Gita, he says that I'm the gambling of cheats. Even ordinary guy in a circus, they have a thing, you walk in, all of a sudden you see yourself as very fat, and then you go to another mirror and you're very skinny. Another, your head is missing, So even a little cheater in the... So we have no idea what Krishna is doing in this universe. Every day there's a new speculation about how this universe is, and so many things by their little Sputniks and their tiny little attempts to understand. But here, Krishna has given the way to understand God is that first you love Him and you serve Him. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Then Krishna will give you the understanding. When a particular object is manufactured, it appears as a transformation of the ingredient cause, as in the case of jewelry made from gold. Persons who want gold will not reject gold earrings or necklaces, since these items are still gold, despite their modification. True Gyanis see in this mundane example an analogy to the different yet non-different relationship of the Purusha and his emanations, both material and spiritual. Thus the transcendental knowledge frees them from the bondage of illusion, for they can then see the Lord throughout the creation. Srila Sridhar Swami prays, yet satvataha sada bo jagad etad asat swanta yad masad abi. Anyway, he says this prayer. I can't read anymore. Let us worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by virtue of whose substantial existence this created world seems to exist perpetually, although it is essentially insubstantial. As the Supersoul, he constitutes a representation of the real within this unreality. So because this material world is part of Krishna's energy, we cannot say that it is unreal. Just like, again, the example of gold jewelry. The gold jewelry may not be a gold mine, but it's still gold. So this material world may not be the ultimate energy of the Lord, but it is transformation of His energy. So, therefore, he says the real Gyanis, they actually see Krishna everywhere, because even seeing this material world, it is non-different from Krishna in that sense, that it is Krishna's creation. But in this material world, everything is... The real illusion is that I'm identifying with this material body. That is the illusion. The body is real. We're experiencing experiencing it every day. As like I said, now we see everybody jumping up and down in Guru Puja. We can't do that anymore. So, at one time it was possible. So the material world is always changing, whereas the spiritual world is eternal. So, and anyway, if you try to negate God, the only person who could tell is God Himself. Because to say that there's no God, then you have to know everything at every time and every place. You'd have to know everything everywhere at any time and any place. So only God is the person who can say whether there's God or not. Because God means absolute truth. So if your statement that there is no God is absolutely true, that's absolute truth. Therefore God exists. So even you cannot negate, as everybody's been explaining in all the previous classes, very nicely, that and I forgot what I was going to say. So anyway, this is the real point, that everything that we see is part of Krishna's energy. Just like this is called external energy. Just like in the body, we have the fingernail, right? Every week we're cutting them. Do we feel pain? It's still part of our body. Any other part of your body, you try to cut it, you'll feel pain. Blood will come. But every week we're cutting our fingernails, and no blood is coming unless we miss something. So it's part of the body, but it's, in its essence, is dead. It's like the hair also. Every day we shave off, every week we shave off our hair. It's not that we feel so much great pain. No, it's dead. It doesn't feel, and so we can shave it all off. So that Krishna, this external energy is like that. It's like the fingernails of the Lord. So it's still part of the Lord. So in that sense, it's still non-different from the Lord. And this example that has been given throughout this purport and throughout the verse, that just like a piece of gold, it may not be a gold mine. So that's our position. We're a tiny particle of spirit. So our philosophy is a chincha beta beta tattva. In one sense, we're non-different from the Lord. But in another sense, we're a tiny piece of the Lord. The Lord is Vibhu and we're Anu, very tiny. Just like the drop of water is the same as the water. We have a whole pot full of water and we have a drop of water. The water, both the waters are the same, H2O. But we can't say this drop of water is a pot of water. The pot of water is much more. And the Mayavadis say that when just like the water, when a drop of water hits the ocean, it merges with the ocean. But actually it's not a fact. I can't remember, one of the Alvars, he was meditating on this, and he couldn't understand. He went to his guru, and his guru took a glass of water, he filled it to the top. Overfilled, actually, because water has a little surface tension, so you can go over the top. Then he put a drop of water, and the water, it didn't merge. The water in the glass increased, so it began to pour out. So, in that sense, we don't actually merge with the Supreme Lord. We still remain in a tiny position, and therefore we're struggling. We're trying to enjoy in this material world, but there's no enjoyment here. That doesn't mean that there's no enjoyment. As we gave the example of a reflection. So if we go for the apple in the water, then we'll just get wet. If we turn around and look at the real apple on the land, then we'll enjoy nice fruit. But we can't conclude that because apple in the water was false, that therefore apples are false. So anyway, these are all some philosophical thoughts that we can consider in this verse. Hare Krishna. So today is also the first day of the bright half of the month of Posh. So it is the day that Srila Lochan Das Thakur appeared in this world. So we'll try to say something about Lochan Das Thakur. So he appeared in the district of Burdwan, not far from Katwa. Remember Katwa, huh? This is the place where Lord Chaitanya took sannyas. And Burdwan, actually, when you go, the real name is Bardhaman. But the British couldn't understand that. They said, Bardhaman. Yes, they said Burdwan. The actual name, now you see, we go on the train, you see, you pass through Bardhaman. And actually, if you're going to Mayapur by train, that's the best place to get down. Because Bardhaman is here, Mayapur is here, and you take the train all the way down here to Calcutta, and then you take a train or a taxi all the way back here to Mayapur. No sense. You can call Mayapur and they'll have a taxi waiting for you, or there's millions of taxis waiting there at the train station. You get off here, and you go through nice, clean, green fields. If you go all the way to Calcutta, then you have to go through all these jumper putties, all these little shacks, Some of them made of plastic, some of them made of canvas, some of them made of tin. You see all these little, And still you see people there's a leak, the water's leaking out of the fire hydrant, and people there taking their bath. They're still very clean in all their habits. They're living in all these places. And I've even seen they have TV antennas on top. I don't know if they actually have TVs. Maybe they just see that the rich people put these things on top of their houses, so to feel important, they also put a TV antenna on top of their house. I don't know if they actually have TV inside. But anyway, you see all this garbage, but when you go from Bardhaman to Mayapur, all just green fields, cool breezes. When I was younger and didn't have money and more adventurous, we used to get down, because just down the street, just a half-minute rickshaw ride down the street is the bus stand. And since the bus from Bardhaman to Navadvip starts there, you could get a place to sit. Of course, I was young and adventurous. I would set up sitting because eventually it's going to get so crowded. People are just going to jam and jam and jam and jam. So I would just go up on the roof and go AC first class. You just have to watch out for the low-lying, sometimes there's a low-lying tree branch, All of a sudden everybody pays their obeisances. So old days I used to think, so you could take bus from there and just drive through the fields and just duck every once in a while. And of course you can take it all, now they have Gauranga Setu, you can go all the way around, but if you get down at Navadvip and just get a rickshaw to the boat ghat, and you go across by the boat and take a rickshaw to our wonderful temple. So anyway, best place is, if you're taking a train, best place to get down in Bardhaman. You can call Mayapur, they'll arrange a taxi, otherwise taxis are waiting there, and they'll take you straight to Mayapur. So anyway, he was born in this district of Bardhaman. And his father's name was Kamalakara. Kara means hand, and Kamala means lotus, so his father's name was Lotus Hand. Kamalakara. His mother's name was Sadanandi, always in bliss. And from a very young age, because he was hearing all the sadhus who would come by talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became very attracted to the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he became rather indifferent to material pleasures. And as was in those times, they married the children when they were very, very young. But actually they wouldn't live together. Marriage was there, but then they know that I have my husband, I have my wife. And when they're old enough, when they reach the proper age, and then they would come to the husband's house and live together as husband and wife. So Lochan Das Thakur, as epic as it was in those days, he was married also at a very young age. But he met Sri Nahari Sarkar. We sing every night, Narahari Adhikari Chamara Dulai. This is Nahari Sarkar. He's one of the devotees from Srikant. We're always in Chaitanya Charitamrita or Chaitanya Bhagavat, we're always hearing about the devotees from Srikant. So he's the chief of all the devotees of Srikant. And he's the Saki Madhumati. So one time Lord Nityananda came to Srikant and he said, where's honey? Where's honey? In his Nityananda's mood of Balaram. So Nahari went outside and there was a little pond there. And somehow he made that pond, he scooped up that water and it became honey. So this is Nahari. So this was his guru. Imagine having a guru like that. So he stayed with his guru, studying about Lord Chaitanya and studying the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya. And his in-laws became very worried because he never came to pick up his wife. So finally they complained to Nahari Sarkar, his guru. So Guru said, you have to go. You're married, you have to go. You have to follow this dharma also. So then he went to his wife's village, but it had been years since he was married. He couldn't remember anything in the village. So he saw some little girl and he said, Mataji, can you tell me, where so-and-so lives? I said, yeah, you just go down 2 blocks and go, And then when he got to his house, he realized that little girl that he just called Mataji, that was his wife. So since he called her Mataji, he always respected her as a mother. He never had ordinary relation with his wife, and together they both worshipped Lord Chaitanya together till finally he left everything. And his guru also gave him special order that you write about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Because that time there was very few literatures about Lord Chaitanya. In fact, he was one of the, these are some of the first historical Bengali writers. Bengalis just write, of course, they're very musical. They write songs and poems and bhajans and things. But historical writing was not such a thing. And Lochan Das, he wrote in a special form called Panchali. And this was the first time a historical work was written in this Panchali type of verse. It's a very beautiful verse. So, and he took the notes of Murari Gupta. As we know, Murari Gupta was a very dear devotee of Lord Chaitanya. And he's written some notebooks, and they put together, what is it, Chaitanya? No, Mangala. That's Lochan Das from Mangala. But anyway, he took the notes of Murari Gupta and Karacha. But it also has another name, Chaitanya Charitrat Amrita something. So, and he called it Chaitanya Mangala. But that time, Vrindavan Das Thakur had written another work that's now known as Chaitanya Bhagavat, but in the beginning it was also named Chaitanya Mangala. So then he met with Vrindavan Das Thakur, and they had a nice discussion, and it was decided that Lochan's work should be called Chaitanya Mangala. And so many wonderful pastimes, because so many pastimes that Lord Chaitanya revealed, and Krishna's Kaviraj, even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, is writing, for fear of making this book even longer, I'm skipping some things. So some things were skipped, but he's got many nice and beautiful verses in Chaitanya Mangala. So it was agreed that his would be Chaitanya Mangala and Vrindavan Das Thakur's would be Chaitanya Bhagavat. An interesting thing in Chaitanya Mangala, because we always read about Lord Chaitanya, relishing the 10th canto and especially the pastimes of the gopis. We hear that all the time. But in Chaitanya Mangala, Lochan Das describes that Lord Chaitanya used to listen 100 times to Dhruva Leela and Prahlad Maharaj Leela. It's very clearly describes that he listened 100 times. Because first, before you can go to the gopis, you have to first understand you're the servant of the Lord. So he used to relish hearing about Dhruva Leela, and actually Dhruva Leela just took place maybe 20 minutes from here. A beautiful little forest is there, Madhuban. It's one of the closest forests to our temple. And you can go and see the place where Dhruva Maharaj performed his penances. We read about all these things, but you can come here to Braj and you can see these places. You can go there. There's a hill called Dhruv Tila. On top there's a beautiful temple where Dhruva Maharaj did his penances and austerities. And it's a lovely place. We came to Vrindavan expecting to see forest, because it's Vrindavan. Ban means forest. And now we're seeing something that looks more like New York or Chicago or London. But there, if you go to Dhruv Tila, you'll see actual forest. And there's a beautiful wall all around it protecting it. So very nice. You'll see so many kadamba trees and so many peacocks are there. And there's a nice prikrama all around. The government has put a big wall. Otherwise, they'll just turn it into a wheat field or a rice field. So the government's put a nice wall. And some sadhus have very beautiful little shrines inside. If you just wander around, and it's everywhere just a prikrama, but some places you can see there's a little path, and you go inside, and there's a nice little temple there. Some sadhu just staying there in the middle of the forest. It's a very wonderful place. So you used to hear about Dhruva Maharaj, how he was so determined. He left he met Nard Muni, and Nard Muni said, look, you're just a little boy. You're a prince. You're used to you sleeping on a soft bed. Here in the forest, you only get dry leaves and dry grass to sleep on. You're used to nice paneer sabji and puris. Here you only get berries that monkeys eat. And Dhruva Maharaj said, look, if you can tell me how to find out Krishna, you speak, otherwise choop. The Prabhupada said it's the spiritual master's duty to test the disciples, he's serious or not, So he saw, oh, this guy's serious. So he left, nice soft bed and nice, wonderful, cooked in deshi ghee food and everything, and went to the forest. So then he says, Madhuvan. So this is Satyayug. So even Madhuvan is famous. This is an old, ancient place. It's famous even in Satyayug. And then somewhere, I guess, Hobalam is where, then you have to go a little far to the south to see that one. But here, right, just 20 minutes from our temple, you can see where Dhruva Maharaj performed his penances. So Lochan Das used to listen to these things, because first we have to become determined to become a servant of the Lord, as everybody's been describing in their classes that we have to. It's like Keshi Damani yesterday saying we're the servant. We're meant to give pleasure. We're trying to seek out pleasure, but we're meant to give pleasure to Krishna, and that way we enjoy. Because if we try to enjoy ourselves, eventually we become totally frustrated. All the scriptures are telling us, if you try to enjoy, you'll become frustrated. But we don't believe it. We still have to try. Just like the child sees, the mother's got some shiny thing. She's going like this, and steam is coming out of it. And, so then the little child, he goes, Mataji says, no, don't touch, hot burn, hot burn. And as soon as mother looks away, she's folding the cloth, immediately touches it. Then he sees mother's cooking in the kitchen, and there's this beautiful yellow and blue flower there, and he goes to touch, and Mataji said, no, hot burn. And as soon as she, not looking, immediately he puts his hand, And then he learns, after a while it sort of sinks in. When Mata says hot burn, then that funny sensation is going to come if I touch it. It takes a little while, eventually he, and we're so foolish, again and again we're trying, and again, becoming totally frustrated in this world. But if we try to serve Krishna, then we'll become fully satisfied. We read about the gopis, how they were ready, even if we go to hell, just like the story of Krishna's headache, They said, no, if you put the dust of your feet on the Lord's head, then you'll go to hell. Let us go to hell, as long as Krishna's happy. So this is the goal. But first we have to study Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was so determined and so completely dependent upon the Lord. Just like everybody, we went to see this Mahavatar Nrsimha, It's so nice. We can't wait for the next one. So, anyway, Lochan Das, he's one of Prabhupada's favorite bhajans was from Lochan Das Thakur. In fact, it's described when Prabhupada went to Atlanta, he saw these beautiful Gaurnitai deities there. And immediately Prabhupada started singing this song. Parama Karuna Pahu Duijana Nitai Gaurachan. And they said Prabhupada fell into ecstasy. Just singing this song, just fell into ecstasy. It was gone for a while. Nice verse in this. He says, Sabhavatara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda. This process is so nice, just only Anand, only blissful. It said even Krishna himself, you have to have a little intelligence to study Bhagavad Gita and try to understand the philosophy. But this one, Kevala Ananda Kanda, just bliss and bliss. You sit and chant Hare Krishna. We see everybody putting their videos on YouTube, how they're coming to Krishna Balaram Mandir and dancing with the 24-hour kirtan party. Kevalananda Khanda. You don't have to study. You don't have to do. You should, but Kevalananda Khanda. Just blissful. This process of Lord Chaitanya. So, and after that visit to Atlanta, Prabhupada, my older godbrothers told me, Prabhupada said that I'm seeing in all the temples where Gaurnitai are there, the devotees are much more happy. As Radha and Krishna are very strict. At Gaurnitai, they don't take any offense. First we worship Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya, then Sisi Radha and Krishna. Nitera Karuna Habe Tabe Braja Radha Krishna. Hare Krishna. That's the sign that we're out of time. Anybody has any questions or comments? There's something to add about Lochandas Thakur? Just for the few minutes I couldn't describe everything. No questions? I put everybody to sleep. Okay, then we can all fall down to the very soft and wonderful lotus feet of that great personality who fell into ecstasy seeing the beautiful deities of Gaurnitai in Atlanta. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna